The red-eyed tree frog hides its bright legs and toes by folding them under itself. The frog on the left is an eared tree frog that lives in Borneo and Southeast Asia. The cycle continues. Frogs mate or make babies in the spring. When a male frog is ready to mate, he heads for a pond, swamp, or even a puddle. Hundreds or thousands of other males join him. They wait for female frogs to arrive at the breeding site. Frogs often breed in a pond that has calm water. They avoid ponds with a lot of fish because several types of fish eat small frogs and frog eggs. The picture above shows several leopard frogs gathering at a breeding site. Picky about the pond. Many frogs use any suitable pond as a breeding site, but some frogs breed only in the pond where they are hatched. These frogs migrate or travel back to the same breeding site every year. In most cases, their trip is fairly short, but some frogs travel several miles. Look at me! Male frogs sometimes compete for the attention of the females. They puff up their throat sacs and make loud croaking or chirping sounds. Females follow the sounds of males when they are interested in mating. Large frogs have deeper voices than smaller frogs of their species. Female frogs prefer the deeper voices. The green tree frog is also called a bell frog because the male's mating call sounds like a loud ringing bell. Some poisonous frogs, such as these strawberry poison frogs, perform a dance to attract a mate. Since they are poisonous, the frogs do not need to worry about attracting the attention of predators. Frog food. A frog hunts by waiting for live prey such as insects to fly by so it can snatch them with its long, sticky tongue. The frog's tongue is attached to the front part of its mouth. It reaches a long way and it moves quickly. Small frogs eat a lot of tiny insects. Large frogs eat rats, mice, and small snakes. Some large frogs, such as the frog above, even eat smaller frogs. Frogs have huge mouths that open wide in order to swallow large prey whole. Watch out! Like all animals, frogs are an important part of the food chain. They eat animals such as insects, and in turn are eaten by other animals. Snakes, birds, fish, lizards, and rats all need frogs as part of their diet, or they may starve. Frogs also eat lots of insects. They help control pests naturally. Surviving winter. Frogs cannot live in very cold temperatures. Frogs that live in places with cold winters must find somewhere to stay warm until spring arrives. They swim to the bottom of ponds and burrow or dig into the mud. The mud is warmer than the water or air and makes a good place for frogs to hibernate. To hibernate means to stay very still, as in a deep sleep. Cozy and warm. Mud and plants on the bottom of ponds trap air bubbles, which frogs breathe. When the sun warms ponds in the spring, the frogs wake up and crawl out of their holes, avoiding heat. Frogs that live in hot areas also burrow and sleep to survive heat and droughts, or lack of rain. Their sleep-like state is called estivation. It is similar to hibernation. After the frog has crawled out of its burrow, it is very hungry and eats as much food as it can find. Frog. Toads are a type of frog. They go through the same life cycle as frogs do, and, like frogs, toads come in all sizes and colors. The bodies of toads are slightly different than the bodies of frogs. Look at the frog below and compare it to the toad on page 27. A frog's bulging eyes allow it to see in front, beside, and behind at the same time. Frogs do not need to drink water. They absorb it through their thin, moist skin. A frog will die if its skin dries out. A frog's long hind legs and webbed feet are perfect for